Hey guys and girls, this is Phoenix Tremaine with my new review of The Have and Have-Nots. We're in episode 2 of season 4, and unfortunately, as much as I praised The Have and Have-Nots for the season premiere, we're back to some of the same fuckery that I always complained about before. So this might actually be a short review because not a lot really happened. There was some good dialogue and some really bad dialogue, some good acting and some really bad acting. So we're going to talk about that. So last week I talked about how much I liked Veronica and was curious on how she was going to handle Wyatt. But in this episode, she didn't handle Wyatt. She did come down and stop him from telling Hannah straight out the truth about him hitting Benny and killing the little girl. But then she told Jim to handle it. So what's up? Is Veronica going to handle Wyatt, or is Jim going to handle Wyatt? So pretty much she moved the ball over to Jim. And so now Jim is going to do something to stop Wyatt. I assume maybe get someone to try to rape him or have him locked up or something. Veronica suggested, he gets some sort of jail simulation to scare him. We'll see what happens with that. But Veronica versus Wyatt fell flat. They talked about each other for a minute, and it was a little catty, but it was fun. Aaron O'Connell, who plays Wyatt, actually did a very good job in this episode. Just like I praised Benny in the last episode, saying that I felt like he found an acting coach or something. I feel like, Aaron went and got the same acting coach, because he actually did a very good job playing Wyatt in this episode. And he actually had some dialogue that could have been really bad, but he did make it good. But that brings me to the bad acting of Landon. This is one of the worst actors on the show. He wasn't that bad last season, or maybe I just wasn't paying attention. But now, because I'm starting to notice that people sort of stepped up their acting game on the show, that Landon, every time he talked, his mannerisms, everything was just really bad. Veronica and Candace, they had banter about red lipstick and looking hookerish and shit like that. Like I said, stuff like that is fun to watch, but it's not really moving the plot forward. And we want that kind of banter in soap operas, but they've never really pitted Veronica versus Candace. I think it would be a good idea for Veronica's husband to actually have an affair with Candace instead of Maggie. And I think that directly pitting Veronica versus Candace would be a really good idea, with as jealous Veronica is, and they're right now the two main women on the show. Catherine and Candace have an exchange at the funeral where Catherine invites her to the house. And Candace, they made some pretty good strides with Candace last season and trying to balance her out, but this season she's sort of being bad for no reason. I'm not really getting a good explanation as to why she's at this funeral, why she's just causing trouble to cause trouble. I mean, she already got the money from Jim, so I don't know what that's about. The DA. Now, I queued this up to this particular scene. Hopefully Facebook won't kick me off for this, playing this. But I'm a writer. And occasionally I will double a word and I'll catch myself, or the actors will catch it. But in this scene of the Have and Have-Nots, let's count how many times we hear the word this. It was really pissing me off. I mean, the show has come a long way, but dialogue like this is what makes it bad all over again. Listen, let's count this. Listen for this.
Stop calling me about this.
George, we really need to talk about this.
Not about the prior situation, you
That's
don't.
exactly what this is about.
If you want to talk about this,
4.
go and read all the Headlines in the newspaper from when you arrested his son. The backlash, the embarrassment to this office. I don't
5.
want to hear it.
But the son confessed. In the interrogation room and again on their porch. You heard the tape.
What I heard was a kid who was obviously drunk or high or looking for attention. You heard Jim Pryor say he had a substance abuse problem.
Yes. But I also know that he was telling the truth.
Let this go.
6.
So we're just gonna let him get away with this?
You served a search warrant
7.
on the Harringtons, which, by the way, just pissed her off. And these people are not the ones to piss off in this town.
I spoke to the fire chief.
8.
He said an accelerant was used, gasoline.
And
And she was trying to destroy evidence.
what evidence?
I don't know.
I don't care how hot the fire was. It would not incinerate a car.
I know that. So you just want me to let this go?
Yes.
9.
What if I find the car?
Then we talk. Until then, this is over.
But what if
10.
Find the car.
You hear that? Now, that's bad writing. When you have people using the word this 10 times in like a 2-minute scene, it's crazy. You know, there's too much money in this production. There's too many people, too many eyes. The actors didn't say anything. The actress playing the DA was in Coming to America, and I think she was on Amateur. A couple of different things I've seen her in. And she's actually a good actress, but on this show, you know, it's really bad acting when you know she can act. So this 10 times in one scene, Tyler Perry, you know, you need somebody to catch that. Okay? 10 times saying this in one scene, it's crazy. Celine and her son Carlos, why were they talking Spanglish? I mean, either you're going to talk Spanish or you're going to talk English. I mean, is this normal? I mean, I'm not Spanish, obviously, but is this normal that Spanish-speaking people will speak Spanish, English, Spanish, English, Spanish, English? And I'm like, really? Whatever. That seems just kind of weird. And then the fact that, you know, she said point blank that he is Jim's son, and the theory that Wyatt was actually her son, you know, was what people were talking about last week. But it looks like, you know, Carlos is Jim's son, not Wyatt. Not Wyatt isn't her son. Maggie has a private eye. Get pictures of Veronica and Benny, but when she has a chance to show them to the husband David, she doesn't show them to David. I'm like, so what? You want to be good? You don't want to get him that way? I mean, these pictures have, if it's good writing, the pictures will come into play. It'll be a plot point of this coming into play. Obviously, I think next episode I saw that. On Wikipedia, it listed that in the next episode that Hannah's mother is going to walk in on Benny and Veronica having sex. David's in the next room, but I don't think he'll actually see them having sex. And then we've got Wyatt and Jeffrey. I'm starting to get really tired of Jeffrey pining for Wyatt. Once again, Aaron knocked it out of the park with this scene. He was teasing Jeffrey, saying some dialogue that was a little racy that I think people will get their shits and giggles off of. Landon, Wyatt and Jeffrey, Landon was sneaking listening to Jeffrey and Wyatt's conversation, and once again he goes to Jeffrey like, look, why are you still pining after a straight guy who doesn't have any of the signs of being gay? He checks out women, he doesn't check out men. And so Jeffrey is being really rude and nasty to Landon. Now that I guess he's got the booty, he don't really give a shit anymore. Because let's face it, for 1.5 seasons, Jeffrey was like all into Landon, and now all of a sudden they have sex and he's kind of done with it. then I put a note down here that Melissa must be blackmailed by Veronica, which is what it came out to be. You know, she said that Veronica had like a $500 million pilot loan that her family took from her, and if she didn't get pregnant, then she would basically foreclose on the house, and the family would lose their business and everything. So, so yes, Veronica is blackmailing Melissa into doing her bidding and getting a grandchild. But I think Melissa lost a baby based on an earlier scene that I didn't have in my notes. When she first saw Melissa, she's like, "What's wrong?" And Melissa's like, "Nothing." But I think she had a miscarriage or something. That's just my theory. And then the show ended with Candace being knocked out by Catherine. They invite her to the house, and she goes, and she's being bitchy. And then they offer her a drink. I thought the drink was going to be drugged because I read once again on Wikipedia. Sometimes Wikipedia will list what's going to happen in future episodes, and it said that Jim and Catherine kidnapped Candace. But based on the previews for next week, they don't kidnap Candace. I guess they have a little bit more of a conversation with her because Candace ends up at the jail with Quincy. I guess asking him what happened to her kid. So obviously the episode won't be them holding her hostage. I guess they had enough hostage shit last season. And that was pretty much it. I mean, it was interesting. I look forward to next week. There were great strides and improvements on the show. Veronica's acting is better. Benny wasn't in this episode, but Benny's acting is better. Wyatt's acting is better. It's just the acting level has been raised, but there's still some dead weight. Like the lady playing the DA, Landon. Even Maggie actually had some good lines in this episode. So they are trying. I do see the improvements, and the show is doing a lot better. It is beginning to be must-see TV. I do look forward to seeing it. I won't say it's must-see, because it's 10:52. The show came on at 9 o'clock, and I watched it at starting at like 10 something. And I did it in part because I like fast forwarding through the commercials. But if it was really must see TV, I would have sat on my couch at 9 o'clock and just like watched it, commercials and all. But last week's episode was must see. This week's episode was okay. Like I said, this is a much shorter review than the other one. It looks like it's going to be about 13 minutes. But I just want to share one more thing with you. Take it to the 14-minute mark. I'll share one more thing with you. I have my own soap opera, Phoenix Remains Thirsty, which I released today. And it's my soap opera, and it's a zero budget. But I have some really good actors, and we really put a lot of hard work and effort into the web series. And also, it's on pay-per-view, Vimeo pay-per-view on demand. So we have an uncensored version and a censored version. You can watch the censored version for free, or you can help us by watching the uncensored version for $2.99. I mean, that's less than a fucking Big Mac. But for $2.99, you get bonus scenes, cast interviews, different things like that, and love scenes, stuff like that. So hopefully you'll be one day doing a critique of my show. Feel free to do it now. And enjoy my show, Phoenix Remains Thirsty. I have a couple of spin-offs, Phoenix Remains Taboo, Headhunters, and a show coming called Hush Mode. So they're all part of the same series. And I hope you enjoy it. I will put a trailer for the show and links to the show, to this video if you want to check it out. So please check it out, and I will see you next week with more Have and Have Nots. I may start doing Married to Medicine also. And if you have a web series, I have a new website, webseriesandmovies.com. But if you have a website or something that you want to promote, you can give me a contact via email, and we will talk about it. So that's it for me. I'm actually reached the 15-minute mark, and I wanted to keep this video short, and hopefully, like I said, you enjoyed it. Check out my show, and I will be talking to you soon. Peace. Hello everyone, I'm Phoenix Tremaine, the writer, producer, director, and creator of Phoenix Tremaine's Thirsty. Please support us by getting the uncensored version of Thirsty. Every episode of the Uncensored Show will have different bonus features, such as bloopers and outtakes, deleted scenes, cast interviews, audition tapes, and even the uncensored love scenes that we did. So starting at $2.99, that goes towards paying my actors and creating a bigger and better budget so that we can have a really great new season with you. So hair, makeup, locations, more actors, be able to do bigger and better things for you. So if you enjoy the show and you want to support us, it starts at $2.99, and I hope you love Thirsty as much as we love creating Thirsty for you, as well as my other shows on webseriesandmovies.com. So please give us your support and keep enjoying and watching Thirsty and get the word out, and make sure you like, share, and let other people know that Thirsty is a great show and that you want to keep watching it.